Hello guys, welcome to the Short Mountain Repeater Club net control tutorial. We're going to show you how to use the database as you're calling the nets, and hopefully to make it a little bit easier on you. So let's kind of get started. As you look at the home page, you're going to see you have a navigation menu. It's going to give you some links that you can access. But we're going to first log in. So I've got a little net control account that we've got set up here, but you would enter in your username, your call sign, and whatever password you set up when you created your account. Log in and you're going to notice that now your navigation menu has moved down, and now you have a new menu at the top called Net Control. This is the links that you can navigate to in this menu. And we're going to use the OCN page to demonstrate basically the features of the database. The other two, Information Net, Traders Net, going to be similar, except they don't have a OCN here. So basically, as you're calling the net, you know, a lot of times people don't remember their OCN number. So you know, if they obviously know their name, then we can search the names in the database and get a return of results. So let's say our caller's named Fred, and he called in, didn't know his OCN number. So we enter in Fred in our first name field, and you can hit apply, or you can either hit your enter key on your keyboard. And you can see you get a list of Freds and Freddies and things that are similar to the name Fred. And you'll see what the OCNs are over here, but what we want to do is click on the title of that specific individual that called in. So let's say N4 VHM called in, and he's needing his OCN, or we're needing his OCN. We click on the title. That takes us to his record. Now here's what we're really after. We want to use this link, send to the Codger queue. Click that link and then go back to your OCN page. Now if you notice, there's a new report up here on the right hand corner called the Codger queue. Fred's name is in that and his OCN number. Alright, so now we've got say Barry is calling in, and we know his number is 716, so we just enter in 716 in the Codger, hit apply. We go to his record, click title, send him to the Codger queue, and get back to the OCN page, and now Barry is in the queue. So you can see that didn't take long at all. So this should be fast enough where you can call the nets and do it in real time, and not be hindered too much. Now let's say for instance, what if nobody has, or there's no record in the database? So N8YUI calls in, and he's asking if he has an old Codger number. Well, when we do a search on him, we find out there is no results, so we know he's not in the database. So at this point, you probably don't want to try to enter in his information in the database while you're calling the net. It's going to take probably a little bit too long unless you're really fast. But if you think you're good enough, you can hit this add caller and then fill in your caller ID, which I'll show you where that's at in just a second. His OCN if assigned. If not, then that will be a new number, and then the rest of the information. When you get done, you can enter his QTH here, and you can see there's a bunch of cities listed, or you can enter in one that's not in the database. You can just type it in, excuse me, and then you can save, and it will kick you out. So close that down, then you will go back to the OCN page. Now if you're adding in these new callers, and they don't have an old Codger number, then you need to know that 829 is the last number in the database. So our next OCN number is going to be 830. You also need to know the title, this max call-in ID, 734. You'll need both of those numbers in the old Codger database. Caller ID would be the 735, OCN would be 830. Okay, makes sense, hopefully. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Now if you're calling the information net, you'll same kind of scenario, except you're just going to have call sign, first name, and then when you do the search, go through and link to the well, let's just do that. Say for instance, we look in where Jerry calls in to the information net, and we oops, misspelled Jerry. Let's spell Jerry correctly, and we may find something. Alright, so N4LZY is calling the information net. We click on 484, we add him to the info net, and then we go back to the information page. And then you can see, go back to the information page. And now you'll see that the InfoNet queue is right here, and you can fill that out just like we showed you before. Now, what at the end of the evening, say you've gotten all your numbers, and you counted them and all that kind of stuff. You've got everything you need, and you want to reset this for next week. Then you have your links down here at the bottom. Clear the Codger queue, and it will take you to a listing of what's in that queue. You clear it, save it, close it, and then you're back at the OCN page. And when it refreshes, it will hopefully go away. But it's not going away. Okay, there it is. Alright, now which brings me to the point. If someone else is working the database for you, say Jerry's calling the old Codgers net, and somebody's working the database for him, Jerry can still see the Codger queue here. But what he needs to do is every once in a while, about every 10 or 15 seconds, you need to refresh that page, and that way you get what's been added to the Codger queue since the last time that that last edition was made. So hopefully all that makes sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me. We'll be glad to help. Thank you now. See you soon.